very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Friday edition of the show. It's the last one for the week, and we promise to make it worth your while. I'm Yemi Adebayo. On the show tonight, we will be taking a look at what's happening on the domestic scene. We will be looking at of course, basketball, give you a slice of what's happening with basketball. We'll also look at football across the states. Zamfara State will be in focus. Now, we're done with international club football returns. We'll be previewing what will happen in the English Premier League. We'll listen to some of the managers talking about their squad and preparations for the weekend matches. And we'll also talk about our teams, talking about African club competitions, 2 teams representing Nigeria in the CAF Confederation Cup. That's the outlook of the show today. Of course, I implore you to sit back and relax even as we take you through all of this. It's a 2-man show. My colleague, Austin Okona-Akpan, is suited and ready. And of course, we're doing this together.
Special greetings to you, Yemi, and special shout out to everyone joining us on the show tonight. Still an action-packed world of sports. And thank God it's Friday, because comes the weekend with so much sporting events, and we're so pumped up for all of it. The English Premier League will be back. International break is over, and so action will commence all across Europe. And right here in England, we'll have Premier League matches Saturday and Sundays, and we'll talk about it on the show tonight. I'm pumped up because there's grassroots basketball development on the show tonight. We'll also talk about the Super Falcons. We'll talk about what people are doing at the state level for the development of football. So much to talk about, Yemi, and it's always a jolly good ride whenever we talk sports on Sports Tonight.
All right, very interesting. Let me quickly introduce our partner in the Lagos studio. And of course, Dr. Ngubiade joins us today. Dr. Greetings to you. Thanks for finding out time to be with us on the show.
Yeah, it's really going to be a wonderful show. Like you said the other time, that the international break is over. Then we'll be looking at what will be happening in the league across Africa, not forgetting the English Premier League and other leagues across the world.
All right, that's how we start off the show. Let me yield the floor to Austin. He was so very eager to talk about grassroots basketball. So that sets the tone for today. Austin, I know things like this gladdens your heart. We're talking about partnership between NBA Africa and France Development Agency. They've unveiled a refurbished court at the campus stadium as part of their AFD basketball experience program in Lagos.
That's right, Yemi. I remember the first time we talked about this on the show, we said for the AFD, which is France Development Agency, it's beyond them just coming to refurbish a basketball court in Lagos. There is a presidential directive to it that, look, for basketball to be doing well in France, it's because of infrastructure development. And so this is the sort of partnership that we want. Yesterday on the show, I was talking about the dark side of basketball administration in Nigeria, where we have leaders who don't want our superstars to excel. And then now we're seeing NBA Africa collaborating with AFD, and they are trying to put proper development into the Millennium Development Goals. And that's to ensure that these young talents have a place to play basketball. So if there's no basketball court, first thing first, I mean, how will these guys dream about becoming the LeBron James of tomorrow or the Giannis Antetokounmpo? It all starts by first having a ball and then coming out to this sort of infrastructure to make expression with that ball and then start to dream. And the refurbishment project, which commenced in June in collaboration with the Lagos State Sports Commission, will benefit youth from Lagos and surrounding communities. Ogun will benefit from it. Even as far as Ondo State or Oyo, they will benefit from this, because kids in those regions can say, okay, how we go to Lagos to see what can happen, with my basketball. We do it with the Channels International Kids Cup. We bring kids as far as Borno State. Despite everything that they've been through with the insurgency, we're saying that, look, sports can give you a good life. And by providing them with more opportunities to learn and play the game of basketball. So it's beyond just, oh, let's go and refurbish a court right there in Lagos. These kids will have an opportunity to grab a basketball, bounce it, and keep hopes alive. So let's take some talking points from this fantastic initiative between NBA Africa, AFD, and the Lagos State Sports Commission.
Milestone in the relationship between France and Nigeria, but it's also, you know, the results of a partnership between the French Agency for Development and the NBA that was launched actually by His Excellency President Macron in 2018 right here in Lagos, and so we're very happy to see it happen now with the help of our partners such as Dream Sports Africa. So what is it going to do to the community? I think this is, you know, it's going to be a shared space, it's going to be a place where young people can gather, have healthy activities, and where they can, you know, demonstrate their abilities and progress. And also, I think this is great for youth empowerment.
We thought that through sport, we'll be able to reach objectives in terms of achieving some SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. And the idea basically is to have people coming around that court, make sure they protect it. This is an asset for them. We built it for them. Now they have to take care of it. And we'd like them not only to enjoy sport practice, but create some community events around it.
Beautiful. You know, I talked about it. For them, it's not just playing basketball. It's to use sports to achieve some sustainable development goals. Dotun, if you listen to the ambassador, this is not small business. I tell people that leave all these ready-made talents, go to the grassroots and take it seriously, and we are ready. That's when we can show proper desire to develop sports from the bottom. It's a presidential order from France, and so everyone came out, and now it is being realized. Dotun, isn't this the sort of partnership we need for sports development in Nigeria?
Right. This is the kind of development we have been looking for many years. Remember, all of this started some couple of years back, like you said the other time, what they've been able to do over the years, and guys around the age of 12 and 17 benefiting from all of this development. In 2021, we saw what they did. Our guys from within that age range also benefited from that particular development. And if you look at what we have this year, what just happened some couple of days back, you see that it was indeed a very nice one coming from the NBA and AFD are coming together to make sure we have a standard basketball court in Lagos State. You pointed something out the other side, talking about little children from across the state, like Ondo State or your state, coming to Lagos State to be part of this particular development. And you mentioned something that also caught my fancy just now, talking about initiatives, initiating developmental programs that these young lads can benefit from. So if they can be part of all these initiatives, or if we can initiate developmental program for all these guys, in the near future we should be looking out for bigger guys applying their trade in the NBA and even doing better than those we have in the NBA as of today.
That's good. That's good to hear. And, well, that's not just what happened. You know, when you have facilities like this in this part of the world, we're always thinking, how will it be maintained? What's going to happen to these facilities? Well, the initiators of this have let us know that maintenance will not be a problem. All parties have put plans to ensure that the facility is well taken care of. And if you listen to the guy from the AFD saying, look, we've built this court, is yours now, and you must ensure that everything is well taken care of. And just like Dotun alluded to, a lot of people have benefited from this. More than 34,000 boys and girls aged 12 to 17 have benefited over the years. But looking at this, maintenance is something that a lot of people were worried about. But of course, we're receiving assurances that will not be the case. Let's take some reactions. We'll come back for more. What's first today?
We know maintenance culture. Some of it is the ability to service the court. Some of it is the weather. It's the court is not covered. We have a facility manager from the Lagos State Sports Commission that's going to be in charge of the court. There's going to be a plan to make sure it's managed properly as well. As you can see, it's going to be closed. And we at Dream Sports Africa, with our Lagos office, working with the Lagos State We're so excited to protect this court, enjoy it, and have thousands of kids pass through here. You're always going to have some talent learn how to play basketball, but for us, the bigger dream is to create leaders in the society through sports. And so the dream for me, for kids in 3 to 4 years, is to see children who went through this program doing well in university, working at Channels TV, working for MTN. In the community, we need more leaders in our community to change our daily lives. It's good to play sports, but you also have to play sports off the court in real life to be a leader in your community.
We have had several meetings on maintenance, even before we started, and we agree that it has to still be a collaborative effort. Yes, we are the primary owners because it's a state, but we agree to come up with joint rules that will help to ensure, first of all, that children always have access. Or they must always have access. It will not be used for parties and all that. And please, when you see anything, let us know. We can't be everywhere at the same time. And secondly, in terms of maintenance, they have also drawn up different some maintenance rules for the courts in terms of cleaning, in terms of making sure that it's not being chipped away, blah blah blah. So those things have been put. Our officers here have been trained already to know because they work with them as we are doing the courts to know what to do. But hopefully by the end of this week, we're going to put a rules and regulations stuff here, and people will know everybody has free access. However, children are the primary interest. So the basic rule is, look, children anybody can play, but children have to have first whatever till 6:30. If you want to play as an adult, come and play in the evening. That's when children are inside. Yeah, so that's the kind of thing we are working with.
All right. Of course, Lagos State primary owners of, and you had everything carefully lined out there. And, you know, off camera, we're talking about talents. That's never been the problem of Nigeria. We talk about the US, and you're talking about basketball. I feel some countries are catching up with the US because now what they're doing is making sure facilities are everywhere and people have easy access. And I like the train of thought coming from, of course, the stakeholders in Lagos, the people in charge. And look, children in those early stages need to have access, undenied, unrestricted access to all of this. And of course, before you know it, we're making talents in droves. And also the fact that it's a total package, not just basketball. Even if you don't end up being a professional, passing through some of these programs, you know, helps build your leadership skills. And just let me allow you to say something before we yield back to Austin. It's a good initiative. 2-in-1, kids have the opportunity and also the maintenance. But once you look at things like this, you feel other people should join in. Let's have more of this. If talent is not our problem and we're putting facilities in place, then the gap between Nigeria and those big nations that we call multi-sport nations will gradually reduce.
Yeah, one among the things that sustain sport across the world is facilities. So if the facilities are there, you're definitely going to see guys coming out in numbers, not just in few numbers. If you can remember last week, we were talking about the bobsled, what happened in Lagos, because the track and everything were available. So we saw guys coming in their number to that particular tournament. And if you take a course, we look at the situation when it comes to sports across the world, you definitely agree with me that nations always invest heavily in facilities. So facilities, when they are in place, you see guys benefiting very well. So having been a partaker of all these developmental programs through the facilities that are in place, you see them becoming big stars in near future. So if we can actually have something like that in this country, we should be looking out for bigger guys emerging from within our nation, becoming superstars in the near future as well.
All right, that's the hope, that's the hope. All right, let's switch gears now and talk football. I'll yield back to Austin. He was also very eager to talk about what's happening in Zamfara State. A lot of things springing up with regards to grassroots sports development, and you could see my face lit up when I mentioned it, and those are the things we want to see. Austin, next port of call is Zamfara, and of course, I mean, they want to make it a hub, you know, collaborations left, right, and center, and it's good, it's good.
Yeah, you know, that's the sort of partnership we want to see. And when you get into this sort of partnership, people shouldn't be selfish with it. It should be for the benefit of societies, of communities, and for young persons. And listening to Shola Aipeku, reiterating that infrastructure in Lagos is for kids first, gladdens my heart. And that's what the Zamfara state government seems to be doing also. They have confirmed that they are collaborating with Manchester United, Manchester City, Inter Milan, and 2 clubs from the German Bundesliga on player scouting and development. It was 2 days ago, Yemi, on this show that we talked about Katsina State unveiling a football academy where they will scout 70 young players. And then today we're hearing Zamfara also coming up with strategic partnership geared towards football development. The state commissioner for youth and sports development, Tasiu Musa, has confirmed to Channels Television that officials of the club will be coming every 3 months. Official from Manchester United, Manchester City, Inter Milan, and 2 Bundesliga clubs will be coming to Zamfara State every quarter to scout for local talents and train them. They will not just come there and say, oh, we just want to see the talents, take pictures and go. They will train them. He also added that the government, now trying to do their part, they have approved the construction of a 10,000 capacity ultra modern stadium. You see, any way we want to look at it, infrastructure finds a way to come in. So now that this is happening, these young kids, where are they going to dream? Where are they going to play football? So state government said, no, you know what? We need to do our part. We will construct ultra modern stadium so you guys can come there and make your dreams a reality. Let's go to the Zamfara State. I'll take some talking points on this and we'll come back to talk some more.
We have already started collaborating with the Manchester United from UK, Manchester City from UK, and also Inter Milan from Serie A. And there is about 2 clubs now that we are on discussion with them from Germany. These clubs, they will send us their representatives here in Gusau to watch our players and pick them every 3 months. We are trying to build the square. That square will contain the basketball, the swimming pool, the lawn tennis, and basketball, and handball. And also we are going to build a PIM village there inside the sports center, and we are going to build the international conference hall center there, and we are going to build the horses race and polo tournament.
It is. So I think what the Ministry of Sports Development needs to do is to track these promises, these intended projects by state governments and say, how can we assist? What are the things you want to make sure that this is achievable? Because it was about 2 months ago, I heard the AFD saying, President Emmanuel Macron has said we will support basketball development in Nigeria. Today, we are talking about the infrastructure already ready. Dotun, it's time to start taking people seriously and also holding them accountable. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do agree with you. All of this we've been discussing ever since we started this program, gladdens my heart, owing to the fact that it is development at the highest level, not just at the highest level, but starting from the cradle, where we catch them young, like you said the other time, the younger guys having opportunity, having access to world-class facilities to develop their skills and talents. If you look at what we are seeing now, it's just a welcome development. You said the other time that all of this, we hate our football, our sport in general. And you just asked a question about stakeholders and important guys and the wealthy ones are taking a clue from what we are seeing happening in Zamfara as we speak to be a partaker of this particular supporting them or partnering them to make sure that all of these have even a bigger picture in the near future. I think it's a welcome idea if we can have guys who are well-to-do, talking about corporate organizations, individuals who can come with their money to the table to support all this developmental program. In the near future, we should be looking at Nigeria being one among the biggest or the best sporting nation in the world.
I agree. You have to be deliberate with whatever you do. And I also agree with Austin. We have to aggregate all of these things happening. I mean, the sports ministry has to become the hub. Monitor all of these things. And before you know it, I mean, see how we can organize, coordinate, make sure the young ones benefit from it, and in the nearest future we will be, seeing the benefits. It's the dream of most of us that Nigeria will become a multi-sport nation. We can do well. Talent is in abundance. We can do well in all sports, not just football. And this newfound energy, this newfound enthusiasm, I hope it doesn't go to waste. I hope we're able to get something from all of this. Let's go on a break right about now. When we return from that break, we'll talk about our teams in the CAF Confederation Cup. We'll talk about the Super Falcons and the list just released. Then, of course, as we hit the home stretch, we will talk about the English Premier League. That will be after this break. All right, from grassroots sports development, let's go to club football now. And 4 has become 2. This is the moment I dreaded, but it has happened. Let's move on. CAF Confederation Cup, 2 Nigerian teams will be in action over the weekend. Final round of qualifiers is what we want to talk about. Benel Insurance and Rivers United, the 2 teams carrying Nigeria's flag, hoping that these 2 teams will be able to make it to the group stage. I almost said the money spinning, but I'm not sure it is money spinning, because we tend to say that for the CAF Champions League. So CAF Confederation Cup, very sure is going to come up on your screen. But on your screen right now, one of the teams preparing for that competition. Of course, you have Benel Insurance, who will take on RS Berkane of Morocco, and you also have Etoile Filante of, that's it, right there on your screen. Benel Insurance up against RS Berkane of Morocco. That game will be played Saturday, September 16th, that's tomorrow. Then, of course, Refurbished United will travel abroad, travel away, play against Etoile Filante, the team from Burkina Faso. That game, it's on Sunday. These days, I don't know if playing at home or playing away is an advantage. All that matters is getting your results. I don't know, Austin. Benel Insurance surprised me the last time, traveled all the way to North Africa, got a result. I don't know if this is a distance too far.
They can only believe, Yemi. They can believe. Sincerely, I supported them, but at the time you were asking me, are they going to be complete after the first round? I said it was going to be difficult for Eimba and Remo, but that they will do just enough to go through. Remember then, I didn't say anything about Benel Insurance. Surprise, surprise, Benel Insurance made it through. Eimba didn't. Remo Stars didn't. That's what football does when you come out and start acting like you know it from A to Z. No. And that's why I want to give everything I have to Benel Insurance in the second preliminary round. Whatever happens will happen. But they shocked me. They played well in the first preliminary round. I think they did just enough to win the first leg at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, and then they went away, showed character. Yes, they lost it 1-0. They were able to hold it on to penalties where they know it's a game of lottery. And holding it on to penalties shows good character. Now, that was Aso Chief. This is RS Berkane. And I've been looking at RS Berkane in the last 5 matches. They've been on fire. I think they're playing in the Trunk Cup competition, and they've not lost again in 3 matches. 2 matches in the top flight league, and they've won both, second on the table. They come with so much respect on the continent. But then again, this is football where anything can happen. So all I can say is Benel Insurance can be optimistic. They play again at home first tomorrow, so they can carry that spirit from the first leg and say to themselves that, look, if we can come this far, then let's go the distance. Win this one and get into the money spinning group stage. Make good names for yourself. Uplift Benel Insurance. They've been doing good with that brand since they came back to the league, and I just hope that they will keep the fire burning.
I hope so too, Dotun. I want to get your thoughts on. Maybe I'll just go back to Austin. He didn't say much about Rivers United. I don't know if he thinks it's a done deal.
I want to believe it's a done deal. They need to prove to me that they can do just enough to win that one, though it's an away game. But it's a tough Filante of Burkina Faso, no disrespect. But this is Rivers United of Nigeria. This is Rivers United. They've been there, done that. You know, just 2 seasons ago, they were champions of the league. They've got good players. They've got good support from the state government. And they understand what it is to play at this stage of the competition. So they should just enough. They got the bye in the first, so they've rested. They've seen things that unfolded with Nigerian teams. It's just them and Bendel Insurance. Would like to still have both of them around. I told you, I was hoping you won't come back to me with Rivers United, so I don't start saying the things that I said in the first preliminary games, and then Ainba and Remo Stars, did what they did, and we're here now. But this is Rivers United. They should do just enough to, not lose this first game, and then in a fortnight do the job in Port Harcourt and advance at the competition. So yes, my confidence level for Rivers United is high, but I'm praying for Bendel Insurance to do just enough to continue at the competition, Yemin.
All right, yes, echoed my thoughts, 100%. All right, Dotun, just a few comments on that before we go. Bendel Insurance, your thoughts. Rivers United, your thoughts.
Rivers United, last season, they got to the quarterfinal of the tournament, and everyone did shower accolade on them, that they did wonderfully well getting into that level of the tournament. And coming into this tournament, like Austin said the other time, they had a bye. They never actually played during the first preliminary stage of the tournament, owing to the fact that they actually qualify via the FA Cup. But if you look at what we have on desk now, it's all, like you said the other time, that they have a fine run of form. Playing at the home front. They are from the Burkina Faso League. They are second on the league log, and in their last 5 games, they've managed to have 3 victories and 2 draws, no defeat. And during the course of this, they've actually scored plenty. You definitely agree with me that they are going to give the Rivers United a good run for their money. But also the fact that Austin mentioned something the other time, that we are Nigerians, and Nigeria Premier League, professional football league, is far better than the Burkina Faso League. But we can actually take a look from a clip from that and see that Rivers United should take them to the cleaners. But football sometimes is not 1, 2, 3, whereby the next number is 4. But it's sometimes dicey that you don't expect from your something you don't expect from your opponent happens. But for Rivers United, go down because they will be playing in Côte d'Ivoire rather than in Burkina Faso, so the fact that the pitch of the Eto'o Filante was not actually sanctioned okay by CAF. So I think they should just go there, because that will even play in their advantage. They are playing away, but the home team also they are playing away from home. So I think they should take them to the cleaners. For Bendel Insurance, haven't done well in the first round of the tournament, qualifying to this particular stage, got into the better of their opponent, and we are thinking going into this particular one, they should come with their A game. And coming from the Sport Commission of the state, they said that they want to give them all needed support. They said there will be buses from all across the state that will convey people to the stadium to share them up for this particular one. So if they can get the kind of support they had in the first round of this tournament, I think they should be taking their opponent to the cleaners as well, and go on the second leg and make sure they secure the ticket to the next round.
All right, we'll wait to see what happens. All right, let's go on now and talk some women's football on the show. It's time to talk about the Super Falcons. Anytime we mention the name of that team, smiles all around. Super Falcons will be playing against a team not feared by anybody, Sao Tome and Principe, in the qualifiers for the Women's African Cup of Nations. So a squad has been released. So let's quickly show you, let's allow you to see the players included in that squad. The list Just quickly go to the screen and reel out the names for you. For the goalkeepers, the usual suspects, Chiamaka Nadozie, Tochukwu Olueyi, Mole Oyono from Bielsa Queens in there. Talking about the goalkeepers, we're looking at all the invited players for the first round qualifier against Sao Tome and Principe. Let's go to the defense now and look at the Onomebi, Akudo Ogbona, Comfort Folorunshaw, Oluwatosin Demeyi, Michelle Alozie. She plays for Ustin Dash in the United States. These are the defenders in the squad. Still some other names in the squad. Nicole Payne is in there. Jumoke Alani is in there. Rofiat Imoron is still there in there as well. She plays at Stade de Reims in France. Let's go to the midfield. Peace Effie plays in Portugal. Esther, we all know Esther Oyenezide, FC Robo Queens, Christy Uchebe, Rashidat Ajibade, Tony Payne, Regina Otu. She's in there as well. She plays in France. The players in the midfield. Of course, the forwards, Flourish Sebastian, Ifeoma Onumonu, Azizat Oshola, Vivian Igichiku, Gift Monday, Chiamaka Okuchiku, and Okpayemi Ajekai. These are the players in the squad, and so that makes up the list. Let me just quickly go back to Dotun. When we talk about the ladies, nobody's really worried about who is in, who is not. Is it because of the opponents they're facing, or we're just glad to see them play after what they did at the World Cup?
Yeah, of course. If you consider the opponent, you definitely say that when you don't consider certain players for this particular,
it won't be an issue.
It's not really going to be an issue. And if you look at what they did during the World Cup, they actually made us happy. They made us happy. Though
we are happy. We are eager to see them again.
Eager to see them again. Take to the field and actually show us what they did again during the World Cup. Take this team talking about Sao Tome and Principe to the cleaners. No, it's just a game that we just want to see them play. We should be looking out for another basketball scoreline.
All right. I want to yield to you. Doctor said we should be looking out for another basketball scoreline. Can we ever be accused of being overconfident? It's Sao Tome and Principe. Can we ever be accused of being overconfident because of the opponent that we're going to face?
Yeah, you can't hear me because we said it on the show for the men that if Nigeria beats Sao Tome and Principe, it's not news. But just try and imagine Nigeria losing to Sao Tome and Principe. It's like a case of man biting dog. Then that's when you understand, So I don't think the case is being overconfident. I think I would have loved to see more younger players. I like the fact that I see some players from the Falcons give us a peep into the future of women's football in Nigeria with this sort of game. No disrespect to the older players invited to this. I also like that I saw Okpayemi Ajakaye on the list. She's just 17 years old, played with the Flamingos, made a statement. I like that Esther Oyenezide is in the team. I like that Comfort is also in the team. Let me also see more of Rafiat Imoran. She was at the World Cup but didn't get a chance to express herself that much. So for me, with this sort of games, use it to not experiment per se, but use it to know your options. Use it to experiment youth versus experience. Use it to tell the younger players that, look, you guys are the future of the team. When we give you an opportunity to do well. I know we're going to see some of those players play, but it's with Sao Tome and Principe. So I was expecting to see more younger players. Tell these guys who are just coming from the World Cup to relax, come out there on the day, support this, these young talents. Call me a Nigerian who always talk about the least, but I think I've earned my rights in this industry to, make this sort of analysis. So that's what I was just expecting. And again, no disrespect to Sao Tome, they're going to really get beaten. I don't know who is doing these draws that bringing Sao Tome and Principe to Nigeria. It's really unfair. The men are just trying to recover, and then you told their women to come and get some more beating, you know. So best wishes to the Super Falcons. This is for sure going to be an easy win for Nigeria. And with everything we saw at the World Cup, they just need to keep the momentum going. So I cannot wait to see what they can do against Sao Tome and Principe. So that's a good place to leave that conversation. But let's stay right here in England, and talk about what's going on in the English Premier League. Yes, action will resume tomorrow. And a lot of talking points. I know you want to go to the screen, so I'll let you run through the fixtures, and then I'll tell you what's going on with Manchester United, Erik ten Hag, and dealing with the characters in his squad.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go to the screen and take a look at the fixtures. I don't know, nothing really jumps at you like the week we had Chelsea, Liverpool, or the week we had Arsenal and Manchester United. But here we are, Saturday's fixtures, early kickoff, Wolverhampton Wanderers and Liverpool. Aston Villa will take on Crystal Palace on Saturday. Fulham will take on Luton Town, the new boys. Manchester United will take on Brighton. These matches will be played on Saturday. Tottenham Hotspur, they're doing well, by the way, and Postecoglou is doing a good job with Tottenham. We'll see whether it's going to last. They'll be up against Sheffield United. West Ham United will be up against Manchester City. If I was told to pick, this probably would be my pick. Newcastle United will be up against Brentford. All right, let's go to Sunday now and take a look at what's going to happen on Sunday. Bournemouth will take on Chelsea. Everton will take on Arsenal. This also will be interesting to see Bournemouth and Chelsea, Everton, and Arsenal. These are the Sunday fixtures. All right. So those are the fixtures. But Austin, I just quickly want to throw this at you because it's happening at your end. Erik ten Hag surprised a lot of us. You know the questions. He knew the questions he was going to be asked. He answered them without answering them. He didn't say anything about Jadon Sancho directly, but he said, look, I'm here. I inherited a mess. I have to change the culture. But didn't make any reference to Jadon Sancho.
You need to be tactical, when you're speaking to the press, particularly the British press. He was very careful, and these coaches are trained when they come out there to talk, avoid the trend checking issues, and that's what he did. He cannot just come out when you're having a crucial game. People don't understand that game against Brighton is a very important one for Manchester United, because if they don't beat Brighton at Old Trafford, then the negative comments will continue. So he went out there straightforward and said, look, I was asked to change the culture at Manchester United, and that's what he wants to do. I don't know what the culture is that they told him to change, but I'm sure he knows there's a culture happening inside the boardroom that he cannot change, and that's part of the problems that Manchester United seem to be suffering that nobody wants to mention. The ownership is also a big issue at the club, but he couldn't have come out today and make Jadon Sancho the subject. Is going to affect players. He has already done a good job by taking out Cristiano Ronaldo. We said that was going to be a big problem, but they have moved on without Cristiano Ronaldo. Manchester United eventually made it to the UEFA Champions League, so he just needs to stay focused and see if he can keep changing this culture. So let me get you talking. How much work do you think Erik ten Hag needs to do to achieve this ambition of correcting the wrongs at Manchester United?
He actually understands what he's talking about. Then let me start with that. The reason I said that is the fact that sometimes when you are puzzled on certain topic, you just need to answer the question. But you pointed something the other time. You said they are properly trained on answering journalists, and they always need to be careful when it comes to talking to them one-on-one. But the question you asked me, that what does he need to do to actually make sure that he steadied the ship in Manchester United. He said something the other time. He said he came in last season and he was given a mandate to make sure that the club actually become like how it used to be. Remember, during the days of Alex Ferguson, they are one among the best in the world, not just one among the best in the world. They actually used to be the best in the world at some point. But if you now consider what is happening at Manchester United, changing coaches and what have you, and even everything is not really working fine for them. But let me just quickly say this, that what he needs to do to make sure that he gets things going on fine in Manchester United, he just needs to get the best out of the players.
All right, that's what he needs to do. Let me quickly go to the screen. This is going to be our parting shot. FIFA Under-17 World Cup, Indonesia 2023. We've talked about United, but we're going to end it this way. The stars of the future. This is what you have on your screen. In Group A, you have Indonesia, Ecuador, Panama, and Morocco, Africa's representative. In Group B, you have another African representative, that's Mali, but you also have Spain, Canada, and Uzbekistan. Those are the teams in Group A. And in Group B and in Group C, Brazil, Iran, New Caledonia, and England. In Group D, Japan, Poland, Argentina, and Senegal. Those are the teams in Group D. Let's flip quickly. In Group E, France, Burkina Faso, Korea Republic, and the United States of America. In Group F, Mexico, Germany, Venezuela, and New Zealand. These are the teams that will be competing at the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. All right, and I guess that's a good place to leave it on the show tonight. Austin, I really wanted to talk about Manchester United, but I don't have the time. I just hope that Eric Ten Hag doesn't have to eat the humble pie, but I guess I'll leave it that way for now.
Yeah, it's better you live it that way. I mean, and I said what I said last night on this show, that Jadon Sancho shouldn't trouble Eric Ten Hag. I'm sure he knows how to handle that. Sancho, on my own part, should be looking for another club other than Manchester United. And this Under-17 World Cup, how in this world is Nigeria not competing at that level? Tells you the story of grassroots football development in Nigeria. Breaks my heart. But that's the show. In London, I'm Austin Okonakpa, and in everything you do, remember, let's keep talking sports. Bye for now.
Well, it's a wrap on the show, but first I want to thank Dr. Agunbiade for his time on the show. Dr. Thank you very much.
Thanks as well.
All right. We'll do this again some other time.
Of course, but it's quite painful that we will not be seeing Nigeria at the Under-17.
It is. All right. On that note, we love to say our goodbyes. We'll see you again next week. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back here again next week. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.